After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Stunt plane. Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
All righty, we are live. It is Talkin' Racing now. And man, it's been a day. It's been a day, but it is a Monday. And we come to you because the All-Star race was last night from North Wilkesboro. And now this weekend will probably be Monday next week, I believe. I don't know if you have anything, but we will not be on after the race because it is another long night race, and depending on how this Coca-Cola 600 goes, it could go into Monday morning. So we will be on Monday at 7, possibly. Stay tuned. Check Stanley Media _11 for updates, just in case, because I did not talk to Spencer before the show, so I don't know if he can actually do it on Memorial Day physically.
Oh, yeah. I can do it on Memorial Day. That's fine.
All right, good deal. We will be here Memorial Day, 7 p.m. And also, programming note, doubleheader for me today. As soon as we finish this show, at about 8:15, 8:30 possibly, we'll be going live with Squared Circle Digest. Myself and Frankie Fresco breaking down the chapters of John Cena and some more stuff going on. But we are here to talk racing, and it was All-Star Weekend, and the stars were out in North Wilkesboro, and C. Bell shines bright. Your overall thoughts of, I guess, technically the weekend, and congratulations to Michael McDowell's crew. They ended up winning the Pit Crew Challenge. And then, Brad Keselowski had another great weekend, and we'll dive into his problems there. But overall, what did you think of Wilkesboro?
I liked the race. I thought it was a good race. I thought it was fun. I thought the track was fun. It promotes a little bumping and grinding.
Yeah, but I didn't really see a lot of bumping and grinding.
There wasn't a lot because they weren't really doing it.
Chris Bell did it at the end when he needed to. And again, this is where I know we talk about this every week, and it's about, but I just feel like they're just being too nice this year. Like
they are being pretty nice.
Everybody's just like, and then I got a question for you. Okay, let me ask you this one. Because to me, look, as again, this track's only been ran for the last couple years. I know it was ran before, but then it went away, came back, repaved. They've ran it a couple times. You can start seeing grooves now starting. They're not there yet, but as the races go on, that'll build up and you'll get more. So I'm not saying the racing is not always going to be the way it is right now because the track's going to take a little time to kind of be lay down the different, the different grooves you can
Gonna
run.
get broke in.
Yeah, you got different grooves you can run. Joey Logano probably had one of the best cars there. Christopher Bell had a good car. Brad Keselowski had a good car until it wasn't good. There was a
Josh
couple
Chastain
cars
had a
that
good car.
Kyle Larson actually had a decent car. I mean, and when I say, I mean like cars that were looked above everybody else. And again, it's one of those things where we saw SVG in the open race when his car was up front. He looked like a speed demon.
Yeah, he did.
He got back in after the pit stop, and then he was like, I just couldn't go anywhere after that. So again, it did play a lot there. But for you, because you know how we talk about the stage racing, and there was no stages this time.
Kind of.
The competition yellow, or no, sorry, what do they call it? The
Promoters yellow.
Promoters caution, which Michael Waltrip literally threw. I mean, he threw the flag out on the track. I'm not sure what the hell happened there. And again, it was very interesting because to me, everybody's like, oh, we don't know when the caution's going to be. But Fox was like, we're going to break before they throw the caution. All of a sudden, they time it perfectly. The commercial ends, and Michael Waltrip is making his way up into the flag booth. And I'm like, okay, this is just some, and then Michael Waltrip standing there and he's asking the crowd, he's playing to the crowd, 5 more laps. It's got to go before 200 or no,
220.
Before 220. But if it goes after 200 and there's a natural caution, there is a motor's caution. All of a sudden, Kyle Larson's tire or whatever the hell happened. And then it's like, oh, we got to throw it now, literally. And the funny part about it was at the end, Logano was mad because he thought he got, robbed a little bit. But that caution was going to come regardless. It just was that Michael Waltrip threw it before Kyle Larson brought it out.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, when the caution came out, there was fireworks that were set off.
Oh, boom, boom.
Yeah. And they did the panorama. I don't know if that was a drone shot or what. They don't really use blimps anymore, so I'm guessing it was a drone. And you saw, the drone shot of the fireworks going off, and they're like, "Ooh, look at that! Yeah, ooh, look at that! That was planned." And that's okay. It's nice to plan things. You should plan stuff. The fact that they've got Michael Waltrip up there, who knows how to play to the crowd, who's got a long history of being, funny in pit lane, funny before the race.
Yeah, and it was the anniversary of him winning that race or something like that, because the 21 actually they rode the scheme that he won the race with in the Woods brother.
Interesting. Let me see. What did that say? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, you touched on very close to what was the trivia question, so you threw me off there for a second.
Oh,
anyways, it's not the trivia question, so it's
okay,
good. It was close.
Good deal.
Anyway, so yeah, obviously it was planned, and that's fine. Things are supposed to be planned.
Mm-hmm. Especially on TV. Again, it's going to happen.
But you could tell that it seemed to me that if there hadn't been a plan to do a caution relatively soon, you've got Kyle Larson, who's in the thick of things, up against the wall, slowing down. He's got people coming at him pretty much more than half the track or half the field. That may have caused a caution, but they were going to throw it at that time. Also, kudos to Michael Waltrip for throwing the flag, because we always talk about how they're going to throw the flag, they're going to throw this, they're going to throw the caution. Nobody ever throws it.
No.
Nobody but Michael Waltrip throws it. Michael Waltrip throws the flag.
Now, my question is, did the stick break in his hand, or did he actually lose it? Because I couldn't tell. Because what fell on the track had a little nub. So I'm wondering if he broke the stick waving the flag.
He may have. So I didn't, honesty time, I didn't see him actually throw the flag. I just saw it on the racetrack.
No, that's what they didn't. They actually they went away from it, and then somebody, I think it was Mike Joy, was like, did Waltrip throw the yellow flag? And then they came back and it's laying on the track and cars are going around it, and then somebody runs over it. And I was like,
yeah. So I saw him waving it a little bit, and I went through the highlights, and I never saw any highlight of the actual dropping or throwing or breaking. So I don't know how it happened. If somebody knows, by all means, inform me, let me know. But I didn't see him actually throw it.
But he's like this. And then when he goes like this, just goes. And he's just like,
I mean, it's funnier if he threw it.
yeah, no, I would just play it. I'd be like, yeah, I threw it out.
Yeah, throw it out there. We've always wanted to throw it. Did he drop it or did it break? More likely, but it's Michael Waltrip. He can get away with stuff.
Yeah. For you, the racing aspect of the race, I just felt like, to me, there was never I would have loved to have a couple more cars in there. And I understand it's an all-star. There's a format. You got to win races. You got to win polls. I understand all that. But for me, I wish they would have maybe put a few more of the open cars in there, at least to stretch it up to where, at least when you're that far ahead, you start coming up on lap traffic. And then, you have to make it. It just felt like once they got stretched out far enough, even SVG on the open was like, hey guys, should I slow down here or what? I mean, I feel like they're like, no, you're fine. You're not overusing your car. You're not over driving it. He's just like, just keep doing what you're doing, and then obviously he felt that he overdrove a little bit because he wanted 4 tires, and then everybody took 2 and put them back. And then Logano, once he got out there, it felt like the same thing. It felt like once you cleared that first, the front car just kind of drove away. And I also know that it's also because the second and third place car battling side by side for position and things like that allows the other car to go. So I understand things like that. But it just felt like, it was short track, but there was just not enough cars to make it feel short track.
So the way that I interpreted it was, and at this track at North Wilkesboro, you run faster when you can run the track as you want to run it.
Yeah.
When you're running too wide, somebody's low, somebody's high, and you're not running the ideal line. So whenever you're out front, you can run the line like you want to. You notice that when they were running the line they wanted to, they were not running all the way at the bottom or all the way at the high part where they had to sort of catch the embankment and ride it down. They were sort of around the corners. They sort of ride up the embankment and then ride it down a little bit, but they're really catching it coming out of the second part of the turn.
Yeah, you could see as the race went on, the rubber building up like right where they got up to it, and when especially when the light started hitting it, you could see the darkening of the track and everything.
So I think that because when you're out there in front, obviously they say open air, it's a short track. It's not that large. I don't know that open air matters as much as just being able to run the track the way you want to. And when you've got somebody low, you're stuck up high and vice versa. Yeah. When you're stuck up high, you're trying not to get run into the wall. So you're kind of fighting that as well. And it slows you down naturally.
Yeah, and then Kyle Larson, again, did not qualify. He started in the back. Denny Hamlin also in the back. Some good cars that a lot of people thought would make their way back up. Well, don't know.
Kind of hard to make your way back up in this race.
Kyle Larson did, but Hamlin didn't. But also Larson was a little bit of strategy, I believe, too, because I think he came in, he took 2 at one point. But he was still passing guys from the back, whereas Hamlin never figured into this race at all, honestly.
I never heard his name called.
He was back in 14th and through 20th, and then again, there's only 23 cars, I think, total. And Harrison Burton was driving the number 51, and I think he finished dead last on that. And I don't think Hamlin was too far in front of him, to be honest there. The Chevys ended up winning the overall because there's a manufacturer, so I'm not sure how they do the points. I'm guessing the best finishes, they add up the points like a points race, I'm guessing, and the winner, the highest manufacturer wins, I guess.
I don't know. I have a different guess, but it's just a guess.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, Toyota won the race.
My guess is it would be an average. So if you've got more Chevys and you've got Toyotas, like I don't think the number of slots were distributed evenly among car manufacturers, right? Yeah. So my guess,
I think there's only 4 Toyotas total in that race.
Right. My guess is that it would be you take their spots, you put in the number, you divide it, you average it, and then the best average wins. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, and I lied right there too because wait, the 42. See, where I'm messing up is I can't remember which one was the open race and which one, because they had the 42 and the 43. John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones, which are driving Toyota this year for Legacy. Mm-hmm. But I can't remember if that was. I believe they were in the open. they were in the open, right? And they just missed, I believe. So yeah, so it was Hamlin, it was Bell, it was Briscoe. I think that might have been it for the Tokyo. I think there's one more I'm missing somewhere. But overall, man, like, I mean, again, the racing to me was good. I remember back in the day, and again, I've been following NASCAR forever, but like when it was at Charlotte, man, it felt like guys were, I mean, I saw Kurt Busch take out Kyle Busch or vice versa. I can't remember which one of the Busch brothers took each other out trying to win $1 million. And in this race, it was just kind of like, I'll bump him a little bit. Let me see if I can get him up. Okay, I got him up, and then it was gone.
If Joey could have got there, he would have taken Christopher Bell out.
Yeah, I guess maybe, yeah.
But, to be honest with you, he had the opportunity to spin Bell when Bell was in him. He had his quarter panel right there. He chose not to. So I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I just feel like it's such a nicer NASCAR right now. Like, I want to see how they are Xfinity wise. Like, I want to see that kind of driving in the Cup Series.
Well, I know that, there's a lot of the penalization going forward with the points. Like, they took points from Cindric for spinning somebody. I forget exactly who. That set him back quite a bit. And he's had a decent season, and he's in like the middle teens. Luckily, he won a race, so it's all right. But
race. This is for $1 million. There's no.
No, I know, but they'll still penalize you. They'll do whatever they want.
I know, but I guess that's what I'm saying though. NASCAR, they pick and they choose what they want to do, and then they're like, oh, we need. Again, I'm not sitting here saying everybody gets taken out on every lap and everything else. Like, I don't want to see that either. But like, it's almost now to the pat where they don't even want to put the bumper into the car because they feel if they spin them, they're going to get docked 60 points. A crew chief gets suspended. The owner gets sent home for 30 days. Like, it's just.
Well, there's a line to it.
Race, man. Again, I understand the egregious wreck and you just run through somebody. Okay, that's fine. But if you nudge him and the guy loses it and goes into the wall, bro, I got to race, man. I can't just sit here. I get paid to win races or place the best I can. I'm not driving on 95 or 826 or 75 or I-4, wherever you're at, whatever the highway is there, to where I put my blinker on and they let me over. And that doesn't work in NASCAR, man.
They let you over on the highway with your blinker? What are you talking about?
No. Hell, today I almost got my front end taken off because this dude had his blinker on and just came over regardless. Like, hey.
Yeah. I'm doing this
on.
now.
The blinker's on.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
So hold up a second. Let's go back to last year for a minute.
Yep.
So just to sort of highlight like what you're talking about, because I think this is a good determining factor of what's too far and what's not too far. Mm-hmm. So obviously what Christopher Bell did is not too far. It's not. It's good racing.
That's
right.
Good
that's
racing.
Clear. That's clearly that's a good example of good racing. Mm-hmm. You talked about coming up from behind somebody, hitting them in the back and spinning them out, right? But you got to get there. So last year we had Austin Dillon, who took out Joey Logano to get that last win, or try to get that last win. I think it was stripped from.
It was
to get into the playoffs.
Yeah,
and they decided that was too far. That was too much, right? I mean, is that too far? Is that too much? And what's the difference between the two for you?
I didn't think it was too far. I didn't. I thought it was a guy that got there. Again, like, at the same time, though, if Logano gets into the wall and gets hurt, then it's like, cause I understand what NASCAR is saying, too, because, again, you're driving.
Fucking dangerous.
You're driving 3,500-pound machines. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't go out there and play bumper cars and everything else. But at the same time, it's like, so you want Austin Dillon, who doesn't usually get to that position, to just ease off and be like, okay, Logano, I'll just finish second? Like,
I thought it was good too.
Like, man, to me, it's like, bro, go for the win, man. Go for the win. I want that type of racing. I don't want to just be like, oh, everybody's happy where they're at and let's just finish 1, 2, 3. Like, to me, if I want that, then I'll go watch go-karts at Grand Prix or Kabooms or something and just watch people drive behind each other. Or
Oh,
hell,
I
I
don't
sent
drive
my
behind
lawn chair.
people at the
I
go-karts.
sent my
I
lawn
challenge
chair
them.
up on 57th there and 826, and I'll watch it all the time. I'll probably see more crazier driving up there than I do right now on the NASCAR tracks.
So I want to disagree with you a little bit on your characterization of the race, though. If you look at those cars, man, there's tire marks all along the sides of them. You know, they've got the circular tire mark where they've been bumping and grinding from
Yes, but
side to
it's
side.
bumping and
Like there
grinding
was,
from like 10 back. They kept showing the race like 9th, 10th, 11th, and those guys are driving hard.
yeah, because it was
And
interesting. It was great.
You got the front part of the race just like on cruise control. To me, that's again, man. I loved the race. I thought it was good, and I understand the track still got time. It needs to come in, and I think ultimately that's going to be a hell of a track. I do, because you can see as it progresses and throughout the night, and the characteristics of the track changes so much from the day to the night. Your tires getting worn out. It's going to be a great track. It will be. I hope they
It was
make
a great track.
I know, yeah, true. And I think it'll come back to that. It's going to take a while to fill in everything. And I mean, how they ran 4 different types of, I think ARCA ran, open wheels ran, trucks ran, and the Cup ran this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, you know, they're trying to put as many series as they can in there and try to get that, I'm guessing, built up as quick as they can there and everything. And again, I just want to see a more, I think maybe aggressive, but at the same time, professional driving. And I don't see it at times this year. It just feels like, hey, let's just drive and I don't know. And again, I'm not the one paying millions of dollars for these cars. I'm not paying for parts. I'm not paying, drivers. I'm not, I don't have to worry about sponsors where if my car gets taken out in lap 2 and then I can't fulfill a sponsor, I'm talking out of, complete ignorance here because I don't own a car. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying on the track, and I understand the strategy, and we saw it play out yesterday, and I love that part of the racing because yesterday there was no stages. I love that part.
Yeah.
There was a caution at 100, and then you knew the other one was coming between 100 and 220.
Although, isn't that really just a stage?
It is, but at least, but you never know when it's coming. So again,
Well, they knew the one was coming in the middle.
Well, you knew the one at 100. Yes, you knew the one at 100. But the promoter's caution did not have to be thrown either, by the way. They could have let it just go, which would have been interesting. But then again, Kyle Larson would have probably brought out the yellow anyways at that point. But to me, again, it made those guys, okay, we're taking 2 tires. Okay, well, now you're stuck on 2 tires for another 100 and so many laps. Will that hinder? And it didn't look like it hindered anybody. I mean, to be honest, the cars up front ran up front, and the cars that weren't that good just stayed in the back, whether they had 2 or 4, because Hamlin took 4 and didn't move anywhere. Larson took 2 and went through the field.
Christopher Bell took 4 and went 4 spots and went and won the race. So
at the end, yeah. But again, it's the restart too. The restarts become. They said it on a thing. You've got to pick up the people on the restart because once it, again, like most tracks, once it straightens out and you're in single file, you're not going to be able to pick people off that quickly. You're going to have to drive them up. You're going to have to move them up and or move them down, whichever way you feel your car can do, and then go that route. So for you, I want to jump into this topic next, since we're talking all-stars and this and that.
Sure.
Could you see an all-star race rotation? Or would you?
So
would you want to see it?
Yeah, so I'm good with an all-star race rotation, but if we're going to do that, I want it to mean something. So I really like that they use the all-star race to go back to North Wilkesboro.
Mm-hmm. I
really like it. So I was looking through and I was, I was looking at defunct or no longer used Cup Series tracks, right?
Okay.
So Rockingham. I think we were at Rockingham recently for trucks or something, but essentially it's not used in Cup Series anymore. I'd like to see Rockingham make its way back into the rotation. Nashville, which I think we went back to Nashville recently.
Yeah, last year I think we were in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
At least Xfinity was. I don't know if Cup was though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
That
exactly.
one
They're making
weekend
their
where
way back into it,
yeah,
right? Like we could be
yeah,
getting back there.
yes, yeah.
And then there's one more that I'd like to see what it looks like because I haven't seen it except for I've never seen it live. I have no idea what it looks like now. But there's a traditional racetrack in Hickory, North Carolina, and the reason I say this is NASCAR has done a lot to branch out.
Yes.
It seems like everything they've done is branching out. We do inclusivity, we do Mexico City race, we do Chicago street race, we're doing the Coliseums, we're reaching out to California. It's all reaching out, but there is a specific part of the fan base that feels like they're getting left behind, and then NASCAR's like turning on them, essentially. They're closing racetracks in their neighborhood and they're going to other places, like they're going to Mexico City. For instance, if you were in North Wilkesboro and you felt like, this was a traditional NASCAR race and you got left behind, it's nice to see it come back.
Yeah.
And as much as NASCAR wants to expand, it also needs to take care of its base. And the base, I know, unfortunately for them, whether they like it or not, is based here in the South. Charlotte is the hub. It was grown in the Southeast, and the traditional, fans, the fans that have been around for generations, are from the Southeast. You had races here and there. There was a race in California that got defunct before they had Sonoma. You've always gone to New York to do Watkins Glen. There's races here and there, but the majority of them have been in the Southeast, and that's where the base is. So if you're going to do a rotation, I want to see a rotation where you're spreading the races around, and it doesn't have to only be in the Southeast, whatever, but you're spreading the races around places that aren't normal tracks, that are either left behind or that you're thinking about bringing in that are growing. So I'd like to see it used that way, but I'm good with a rotation.
Yeah, no, I would like to see a rotation, but I would like to see, and again, I'm not saying, I think more of that needs to be that the first the Clash needs to be at the like a Hickory or things like that. Like those, to me, that's the one that needs to rotate the most, because I would like to see more. And again, I know this is gonna, like I want to see the fast mile and a halves to the speedway tracks host the All-Star race so that it's more entertaining in a way. Like, like Charlotte.
Atlanta.
I loved when they did Charlotte. I get Charlotte's not, but again, you can get speeds in there and it's just, and again, not saying they didn't get speed in North Wilkesboro. They do. It's a little small track. They get good speed. Don't get me wrong there. But I just like, dude, it's an all-star race. It's an exhibition. It's like, and again, I get what you're saying about going to their base, but I feel like the Clash should be the base to start the season. Started at one of those tracks like that. And again, the other thing that I don't understand is, for everything that they do to promote all of, everything they do with the regional tracks and everything like that, like, why aren't we seeing more of that? Like you're saying, like, why aren't we going, like, why isn't there, even during the we'll make a points race. One year it's in North Wilkesboro. One year it's in Hickory. One year it's in Boone. It can be on the same month, same day or whatever. You figure out where you want to slot it. But that one spot, that one points race rotates between maybe 3 or 4 tracks. So every 3 years you'll get the race.
And let's be clear, I have no idea if Hickory is in any shape to run.
No, yeah. I mean,
It's been 50 years.
We're throwing it out there because it's one of the, but they talk about all the, NASCAR regional and all this stuff. And it's like, what are we really,
Well, also, are there some regional
promoting?
tracks? Are there some regional tracks outside the Southeast?
Huh?
I said, are there like regional tracks outside the Southeast that maybe have a big enough following that they could run a race like that I'm not familiar with? Is there something in Arizona somewhere?
But even like at North Wilkesboro, you get in a wreck, you can't get the track, you can't get off the track.
Yeah.
It's not like, you're in Atlanta where you go back into the pits and you're done for the day, pull up the hauler, let's go, we drive under the tunnel and we're out of there. No, you've got to wait. So why not go to some of those smaller, the more regional tracks? Again, you're running 20 cars. You're not running 40. Again, I would understand
Right.
trying to run 40 cars in North Wilkesboro might be a little
Hard.
bit logistically challenging, especially, if you get a wreck and then what? You've got cars that got to pit, but they can't pit because the guy in front of them's already been wrecked out and their car's sitting there in pieces. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I get some things like that, some things have to be worked out. But I don't feel enough is being done, as you're saying, to really go get the smaller regional tracks. It feels like it's talk, and they're not walking the walk. They're just talking the talk because, again, we'll go to Mexico City. We'll go to, Chicago or whatever town's going to pay us the most next to put on a race, in their city and this and that. And it's like, yeah, so, yeah, you're right. Those tracks are getting left behind.
So, I mean, hold up. So going back to the spreading out thing, though, let's be clear. I like the spreading out thing, but does it always have to be a street race? I mean, is there a track somewhere in Mexico that's in immaculate shape that I have no idea of? I don't know. I mean, it does have to meet certain qualifications, right?
Yeah,
You need a solid track. You need places for people to sit. I mean, North Wilkesboro is really pushing the envelope as far as being about as small as you're really comfortable with.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but again, they only run 20 cars because the Open was 20 cars, and then the Open, the All-Star race was 21, I think it was total.
And the trucks was 32, 32 trucks this race or something. Yeah. It was smaller too.
Yeah, normally they do 40.
Yeah.
So, again, there's things I feel that can be, and again, why not have more exhibition races and maybe take another points race off?
Maybe. I mean, it's not like there's not enough races.
I mean, right now you got 32 races, and right now the days off are what? Easter and one other day. No, I think Easter was the only day off this year, I believe.
February to November. It's a long season.
Yeah. So why not have a couple races and thrown in there where it's exhibition, just let them go and whatever. Again, I say this, not having to purchase a car for whatever track it's going to be on, not have to fly people into, I don't know how much hotels there are in North Wilkesboro. I don't know how far people had to go to get in a hotel, an Airbnb, car rental, airports. I don't know all the logistics. I'm just saying, let's make it happen somehow.
It's not so far from Greensboro, so it's not so bad.
Okay, it's not terrible then. All right. And now the last topic I wanted to discuss was Bad Keselowski.
Yeah.
I mean, this season is just...
So I came in prepared for this. You want to hear?
I got a little bit of prepared too.
All right. So finishes for Keselowski: 26th at Daytona, 39th at Atlanta, 15th at Circuit of Americas, Phoenix 33rd. His highest finish, Las Vegas 11th.
11th, yeah. He's
Homestead,
finished
26th
or worse for the last month.
Yeah. The last time he finished higher than the 20s was Bristol, and on April 13th. He started 16th and got 16th. We've had a tire blowout. We've had a multi-car crash. We've had a loose wheel issue, some handling issues, a crash. His cool suit failed. I mean, it's just been a nightmare. And the interesting part is you can't say it's the manufacturer because it's RFK. And RFK is with Roush, right? And he's got two teammates. He's got Buescher and Ryan Preece.
Yeah, they're running good. I mean, they're running, of course, I guess compared to Brad Keselowski, they're running great.
But just in general, if I told you that,
And also, when you look at Brad Keselowski, he qualified great. Hell, he took the pole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know, but somewhere in the race, he either gets bad misfortune of being caught up in somebody else's mess, or maybe what he's doing, since he's the owner, he's like, give Preece and Buescher the good stuff, and I'll run with the other stuff, and now it's kicking him in the ass. He's sitting 33rd in points.
He just hasn't looked fast. The last 2 weeks he looked fast.
That was
the
the
All-Star
one thing.
race, and then the race prior. I forget what it even was at this point. Last race he looked fast, but prior to that, he wasn't fast. You didn't see him.
Yeah. Well, they said
You didn't notice
that
him.
one of the things he's been trying to do is push the envelope a little bit on speed for his car, which might be hindering some of the other mechanical issues that he's been having.
I feel like if that was true, we would have seen him though. Because it's not only his finishes, it's where he starts. Like, hold up, let me pull that back up because it also goes where he starts at. So, starts 34th. He got a 9th start at Atlanta. 26th, 20th, 27th, 32nd, 27th, 20th, 16th, 22nd, 30, and 30. So he's starting in the back.
Yeah. No, I'm saying he's trying to get speed. I don't think his cars have
Well,
speed.
they're all trying to get speed. Like, yeah.
But check out where's Buescher and where's Priest.
That's a good point. I just feel like I see Buescher every race up front. Ryan Preece every now and then, but I feel like Buescher's up front all the time. I mean, I didn't look it up, but let's look.
I'm doing it right now as well. I've got Priest right. I'm trying to look up Priest.
All right, I'm looking up Buescher.
His average start is 21.3 for. He started. Let's see. 11th in Atlanta, 12th in Vegas, 2nd in Darlington, 4th in Talladega, 5th in North Wilkesboro. But he's been 26, 27, 21, 28 around those for some of the other races though.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Buescher's looking great. So, start Daytona 6, Atlanta 8, Circuit of the Americas 24. That's a racetrack though, you know? I mean, it's a road track.
Yep.
Phoenix 13, Vegas 11, Homestead 11, Martinsville 6, Darlington 14, Bristol 24. Different kind of track. Talladega 6, Kansas 2, Texas 12. In the All-Star race, he started 10th.
It's funny, in Texas,
He's fast.
Priest was 33rd.
Wow. That's so different.
I mean, and then you look at Keselowski. I mean, are the cars being? You would think they'd be somewhat similar on setup, right?
I don't know that answer. Actually, I don't know if that's
I
true
mean,
or
it's not looking like either that or some of those drivers are way. I mean, the fact that
you would think the equipment's the same. I don't know about
because
the
I was
setup.
looking at Daytona, Priest was 2nd. In Atlanta, he was 11th. Vegas, he was 12th. But in Coda, he was 28th, which is a road track. Vegas, he was 12th. Homestead, he was 31st, and I think Buescher had a good starting position there. Bristol, he was 29th. Again, Darlington, he was 2nd. Talladega, 4th. Texas, he was 33rd. Kansas, he was 30th.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Those are all
essentially, Buescher's been top 15 except for Coda and Bristol.
Yeah.
Every race he started in the top 15, most of them in the top 10. I think the equipment's the same. I don't know if the setups are the same.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, maybe not. But I mean, but it's not, obviously not the cars, I would think, looking at them. I mean, unless Keselowski is doing something drastically different than what the other guys are going to the track with. Because they're coming off and looking good. Whereas Keselowski,
I mean,
is just,
you never know, man. There could be chemistry issues with the crew. I mean, I don't know enough about Brad's crew and who's setting up the cars and who his crew chief is. I don't know those things, so I can't really speak on it. I don't know.
Where was I had
I just know it seems like every time you turn around, Brad's mired in something.
Something, yes. His crew chief is Scott Graves. I don't know if that means anything to you. I don't know enough about the.
Oh, it's Scott Graves. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, right? Yeah. Now it makes sense.
It all makes sense.
I don't understand, man, how Keselowski is. I mean, I love last night. You're like, hey, there's Keselowski's luck.
Okay, it happened again. I was like, look, he's doing well. Oh, great. Well, let's see it.
Bam. Just like.
And he didn't just hit the wall. I mean, when he hit the wall, he broke the toe link or the axle or whatever the hell was holding him. Like,
you hit the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
he was doing the sideways run straight. Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, at this point, you're sitting 33rd in points. Like, you have to win. It's not
Yep.
running good and trying to get, like, this point, it's Hail Mary. At this point, you're trying to win because you're not getting in any other way at this point. We're at least halfway down now because the All-Star race. And then you got what? The Coca-Cola 600, which is, I wouldn't say a super speedway, but it could cause a big wreck.
Yeah.
We know we got another Daytona race coming up. We know, well, the Daytona race is right before that might be his best opportunity. Try to get in and sneak in that wild card race. All right, man. What is the trivia question today?
All right. So
By the way, nice tied hat, by the way.
Oh yes. So I told you I got another hat.
Yeah.
It's tied, and it's got a Ricky Craven 32 via 1990 something or another. I got Downey on the side here.
Nice. Downey.
And it's all, it's engraved in.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing it's not is it is a Velcro.
Oh, Velcro.
But then again, I'm buying hats on the internet that I haven't tried on, they probably need Velcro because I don't know what size this person is.
That's true. You wearing like one of those big hats.
But yeah, no, this one came in really nice condition and it fits well. So I like the tied hat. Not a huge Ricky Craven fan, but I like the hat.
Man, the vintage hats, I love them, man.
All right. Who was the winner of the first NASCAR Cup Series All-Star race? And when was it?
I feel like they did this yesterday and I missed it. Because they were talking about all the highlights in the back in this and that and like since I said Michael Waltrip and you started looking at the answer, I feel like I call your bluff here. Michael Waltrip, 19, I don't even know when the first All-Star race was.
Longer ago than I thought it was.
Okay. All right.
So it is a Waltrip. You picked me up there. I think I gave it away. But it's Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell, okay. All right.
And it was 1985 at Charlotte. He drove a number 11 Chevrolet.
So now, was that Charlotte all the way up until recently? Not recent, but when they moved it to the other tracks, was it at Charlotte all that time? Okay.
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Because I used to love that. The fact that they did 2 weeks in Charlotte, it was the All-Star race right into the Coca-Cola 600 the next. I love that. I used to love that stuff, man. Ate it up.
Well, if you look at the map, North Wilkesboro is just north of Charlotte, like an hour.
Yeah.
So it's kind of still plays like in that area. It plays in.
So they still give them 2 weeks kind of at home in a way where it's not like, because again, that's kind of what the All-Star race being in Charlotte really did for most of the teams. Now there are teams that are not based in North Carolina, but it was almost like you get 2 weeks being home. You get the All-Star race and then the Charlotte race, and then you're back out on the road again. So it was a cool time, man. But again, congratulations to Christopher Bell. Dude, man, I find it so funny that he's not the traditional driver. Well, he's the one that came from the video games, right? One of them?
I don't know.
Am I mixing guys up here?
I don't know if Christopher Bell came from iRacing. I don't know if that's true.
Hold on a minute. I'm about to look it up right now. Damn it.
The only one I know for sure that came from iRacing is in trucks, and that's Raja. But
yeah, Raj Karuth, yep. Christopher Bell. Where's the story? Come here, buddy. Where's the story here? No, I 100% lied. He started in the micro sprints in the early 2000s.
William Byron.
Is that who? That's who it is? William Byron's the one?
Yeah, William Byron.
Oh, okay.
Started on iRacing as a teenager.
Oh, okay.
He got to legend cars.
Christopher Bell. It's William Byron. Okay.
It says Josh Berry did too.
Oh.
And Anthony Alfredo, Ty Majeski, Raja Karuth, and Parker Retzlaff.
Man, I'm jumping on iRacing right now, buddy.
But, to be fair,
I'll be
getting ready. Gonna make her comeback. To be fair,
My crew chief.
you call somebody the babyface assassin. You talking about Christopher Bell? You talking about William Byron? Who are we talking about?
Dude, man. That good when he takes the helmet off, it's like
He does not look like he's over 30, and he is.
man.
It's like 31
That's
or 32.
so funny. Like
It's
Tyler
incredible.
Reddick now grew his hair out and grew a beard. And I was like, dude, he used to look like he was like 12 last year. Now he's looking like Grizzly Adams. I don't know what. I just got tired of everybody saying he was a baby face or something, man.
Spending too much time with Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, probably. He's not driving as well this year either.
He's not.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
It's hard. It's hard to win 5 races every year, though.
No, yeah. And then also, I mean, again, things change, man. The setup. I know everybody's like, oh, we got notes now of how to run. But, dude, you go back to a track and it's not 90 degrees that day. And now it's, cloudy. And now it changes the whole, complexion of the car. And I felt like, in a way, they ran better because everybody was on the even field of no practice. I feel like this year with the practice being there, you're starting to see a little bit of a difference, whereas now people aren't just making adjustments in the race. Now they're coming into the race, adjustments made, instead of just coming off the truck and then trying to make the adjustments during, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So before we end up real quick, do you know, or do you think Kyle Larson is still doing the Indy thing? Indy 500 next week? Because I saw where he crashed, and I think he kind of injured himself a little bit. I didn't know if he was still going for it.
Who, Kyle Larson?
Mm-hmm. Didn't he crash like in practice a week ago or something?
He qualified 21st. He's in.
Okay.
He's in, but he's got who is it? Tony Kanaan is his backup in case there's rain there.
That's a good backup.
And then I think it's Tony Kanaan. I want to say
that's a pretty solid backup.
And then if there's rain or something,
because if he's got to go, he's got to go.
Yeah, because this year NASCAR put in the Kyle Larson rule to where if he doesn't make it to a points race, he's not eligible for the playoffs. So there's no provisionals anymore. No, all right. So, which I think is kind of a little bit crappy for NASCAR in a way, man.
I agree.
Because, dude, okay, if he puts you think Justin Allgaier driving the 5 is going to be anywhere close to the position that Kyle Larson drive? It's not like they got an advantage by having Allgaier in the car instead of Larson. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just, okay, you don't get points for that race. You get deducted. He's already got 6, he's got 3 wins, 4 wins this year. And now you're going to tell me because he misses 1 race.
Or he gets there late.
Yeah, those 4 don't count. Okay, just give him a 0 points in the damn thing and just move on. Let everybody else get a playoff point that's in the race or whatever. And
hell, dock him some points. I don't know. Do something.
Move on, bro. He's got 4 wins. And now you're going to be like, oh, because you missed because you went to Indy and you're represented NASCAR in Indy. We're going to, bro, come on, man.
Which also, by the way, we're having like IndyCar drivers come here and race our cars too. So it's not like it's a mutual thing that's not happening.
Yeah.
If it was one way, it'd be another issue. But like it's
100%.
It's going back and forth. It's, we're doing the AEW Forbidden Door thing over here.
Yeah. New Japan. We're going to start stealing their talent soon. We'll start signing people.
We've been doing that.
We've already had that.
Been doing that.
Yeah, we sent them back.
Yeah, thanks, Danica Patrick. You can keep that.
They had to buy a new air dryer because of Helio, right?
I think so. I forgot about the air dryer. That was epic.
Oh, God.
That shit was hard.
Let know where oh, my God.
You can find me on X at NoDoubt87. You can find me here on Talkin' Racing Now, Talkin' Racing with the great and glorious Sean Stanley. And you can find me on the chat board talking to, the rest of you guys about wrestling here in about, 20 minutes.
Yeah, probably about 10, 15 minutes we'll be going live. It looks like Frankie's ready to go. So
Frankie's ready to go already? Oh,
yeah.
He didn't take a nap yet?
No, he already took it. He's up, ready to go. Stretched, did 10 push-ups. He's ready to fire off. You can check me out, Stanley Media _11, Stanley Media House everywhere else. And of course, you can subscribe, like on YouTube, Stanley Media House Network. Appreciate each and every one of you that are on. Remember, Mondays at 7, unless the race is early, then we're on live right after the race. But these next couple, they're a little bit past my bedtime. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. I'm going to try to finish. I'm going to try to keep up with this Coca-Cola 600. I just hope there's not a lot of cautions or weather. The last couple have been weather. So let's hope for good weather this weekend in Charlotte. And then don't forget, great racing weekend, Indy 500. There's also the F1 race in the morning, then Indy 500 at the afternoon. And it closes Sunday night with the Coca-Cola 600. For the great Spencer O'Neill, I'm Sean Stanley. Thank you for tuning in and talking racing now.
Go Cat.